It's time to take A Therapeutic Dose, a prescription-strength reality TV podcast that explores the intersection of reality TV and therapy. Possible side effects may include entertainment, strong emotional reactions, and/or laughter. Here are your hosts, Ramona Ramirez and Margee Magee.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to A Therapeutic Dose, where we meet at the intersection of reality TV and therapy. I am Margee Magee, and with me, as always, thank God, is my my personal pressure relief friend.
Oh.
And yeah.
Hi,
co-host.
everyone. I am Ramona Ramirez. Margee, likewise, and I'm thrilled to see you, as always.
Yes. So we're going to talk about OC again. Do you want to touch on any of the other shows this week first, real quick?
I was in Portland last week, and so I was able to watch the Salt Lake City premiere with my sister because she hadn't seen it yet. And then we both watched New York together here. She flew back with me. And so it was great to have someone besides my husband, like watching it with me side by side, who, you know, we talk about it in a different way that I talk about it with Josh. And so it was fabulous. And, you know, Meredith Marks is wacky, and Mary Cosby triggers the both of us a lot.
Wait, did you watch the Trixie Motel episode?
Oh, and then we watched a Trixie Motel
Okay.
episode, and I was like, interesting that someone who, you know, allegedly is down the QAnon pipeline would be friends with Trixie Mattel and other drag queens. And so I just am reserving all kind of judgment for right now and giving Whitney the benefit of the doubt. But I just fucking hate hypocrisy so much. It's one of like my main reasons that I am still in therapy, is that when I see behavior come from people that say one thing but they do another, it really, really triggers me and angers me. I'm still loving I mean, Monica is truly fascinating to me. I don't know if I'm going to like Lisa Barlow this season, and that's really strange because I've loved Lisa not as a person, but as entertainment, and now I'm not even sure that I can handle that. Yeah, I need to not like these people in real life. I need to not give them the benefit of the doubt. My sister and I were talking about how much we love Jenna Lyons, and then she comes out in, what is it, 2 days ago? She said that a few days ago, she said that Aaron didn't mean to donate to fucking Make America Great Again. Okay. I don't just fall on someone's dick and be like, oh, I wasn't having an affair. I fell on someone's dick. You know what I mean? I don't accidentally walk out of a store with a handbag like, oh, I didn't mean to steal this handbag and put shit inside of it from my other purse. There's excuses, and then there's like, what the fuck? Like, why would you? So maybe the shit about Jenna is true. Maybe she is a total monster, like former employees have said.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's hard to say because, like, that's where, yeah, I don't know. That's the hard thing about, like, a female boss. Is she abusive and terrible, or is she just a boss and people had a hard time taking orders?
Exactly.
But I don't know. I have no answers. But I'm loving Monica on Salt Lake City. And with the exception of her weeping over buying a purse going into the mall to buy a purse, I thought like she is as close to what you might be like on a housewife show. Because she is just no bullshit. Like, I loved her confessional where she was like, look, the truth always surfaces. So your power is in telling the truth right away. Because then nobody else can have anything on you because you've already claimed it. Yeah. And then in the van, when she was passing chips over Mary Cosby's lap, and then Mary Cosby's like, oh, don't pass chips over my lap. And Monica was like, okay, no chips over Mary Cosby. Like, she just went in on her and like made fun of her. And I was like, yes, great.
It was such a weird thing. Like, I don't like crumbs on me. Like,
she's insane.
Likes crumbs on ourselves, Mary, but it's a completely benign thing.
No one was eating them over her lap. No one was chomping on chips. Like, she's just crazy.
Oh my God.
She belongs in her closet. She is not meant for the world outside. Like, she really...
Did production ask her to call the motel and say, do you have 2003 Dom Perignon, or did she do that of her own volition?
I wouldn't be surprised if she did it of her own volition, or if it was some combination where if she was talking to a producer and was like, do you think they have this particular champagne? And he was like, why don't you call and find out? You know, I don't know. Oh, But I'm enjoying the season. Like, it's unexpected storylines, and yeah, I'm liking the new blood.
Meredith Mark's fourth face, Angie's second or third face. I don't give a shit that these women are changing faces. It's just like when you see pictures and you're like, wait, I need to pause it for about an hour and do a side by side because I cannot figure out how this is the same fucking person.
That's how I felt about Vicki this week. I was like, ooh,
Oh,
you went one facelift too far. You had it right, and
yeah.
then you fucking stretched it half an inch more, and now you just look crazy. Like, yeah, she almost looks like a burn victim at this point. Like,
It's
it's
just
so shiny and thin and
her
stretched.
her face in the confessional looks like long, and then her face in real life looks different than that. And then I don't know if you watched I hate to say this, but I don't know what else to call it, like this absolute, how about I'll say this, dumpster full of fucking manure fire. That Watch What Happened live was last night with the Trace Amigas. Like I Tamra is an evil imp. And I only say imp because of her diminutive size. Diminutive. She's a piece of shit.
All
And
three of them
they're
are.
all pieces of shit. And they,
I don't know,
Andy
but
really
yeah.
disappointed me last night. Like, he really doesn't give a shit about who these people are as people.
I thought there was a very telling moment last night because I too, I wanted to just like punch my TV when he was like, we're going to give awards at BravoCon this year. And Vicki, you're getting the housewife icon or whatever the fuck it is. But then
Lifetime achievement or
earlier,
something. Yeah.
yes, Lifetime Achievement Award.
Ugh.
Clever. Oh, clever. Cute and clever, the title, but wrong person to award it to. But earlier in that episode, he's made some comment that indicated he fully has no fucking idea what goes on the show, that he's probably watched seasons 1 through 4, and then he got a house in the Hamptons and 2 kids, and he's like, fuck off, you guys. So part of me is like, I wonder if he's just in nostalgia head when he sees these women, because he's just not, I don't think he has time to look any deeper. He has 100 casts to keep track of. And
Yeah, I mean, yeah, how can he watch all of them? And he probably does it like with shit in the background, or like I know he catches up on shows on flights because I've read all 3 of his Fakakta books. 3? I don't know. There might be one that I didn't read, but I did read Daddy Diaries, and whatever. I mean, check it out from your library, read it for free. I would not buy it. He doesn't need any more money. I understand that this is the podcast that Bravo built, but it's also the podcast that Therapy built. And I have a right to, on this podcast, to share about how watching people behave in a way that just seems so surface and just non-critical. Last night I had, for the first time in my life, and this is watching Orange County, I was like, oh my God, am I on my way out? Is this the beginning of the end for me? Am I not going to be able to watch Bravo again? And again, it could be that having Vicki come back, seeing so much alcohol, things that had gone on in my day not related to this podcast or anything, like, felt kind of big. I had a really intense week. So I'm taking those things into account. I don't have to make a decision today, but there's good and then there's dark. And then there's watching someone with bad behavior, and then there is that feeling of relief when someone like Lisa Rinna is fired. And that also felt good, like when Vicki was fired. There's a reason that Tamra was put on pause as well. And I don't know. I don't know about problematic behavior. You
I
know?
mean, yeah, it's tricky because, I don't know as much as what goes on in their off-screen lives, with the exception of people like Kelly Dodd, who you like can't
Oh,
escape it.
yeah.
So, it's hard to say. Like,
Hmm.
I think Orange County, I don't know. I think Vicki ruined this episode. I guess that is sort of,
She really
um,
did.
yeah,
Uh,
I really don't need her. Really don't need her.
shall
Yeah,
we
we can
segue
start at
then?
the
What else
beginning.
did you watch New York and Salt Lake last week too?
I watched New York in the background, and I paused and walked back into the room when I heard, was it Sai talking
Mm-hmm.
about her alcoholic mother? And she has a
Yes.
lovely perspective on
Yes.
that, of like, she just became
Yes.
someone I didn't know, And I tried and it didn't work. And then she just grieved it at that breakfast. She just cried because it is just fucking sad. There's no way to say it's okay. It's not okay. It fucking sucks. It's a huge loss. And I appreciated her for being honest and being unresolved, you know? I thought that was
Absolutely.
I thought that was a really lovely moment. Yeah, Jenna Lyons is getting a little too like the needy girl on the trip for me, where she's like not trying to draw attention, but she's always drawing attention. Because like, yes, I am in a bathing suit, but I'm never going to take my cover up off. It's just like, well, then don't. This is becoming such a thing that it's like ruining the trip.
Right.
It just, I was constantly concerned for her, worrying about her.
We're worrying about a multi-millionaire, tall, thin white woman who
I know, but
has
she
an
just had
enviable
dental
house.
surgery.
I
Like,
know. I
I don't know what's
know.
going on. Some of those floors look slippery. I was like, is she going to
Uh,
fall? Whatever. But yes, I enjoyed that. Oh, and then I also started watching the new season of Selling the OC.
oh, I haven't seen
It's
that.
great. I only watched the first
Is
episode,
it?
but
Okay.
I mean,
All
it's
right.
terrible. It's terrible in all the best ways.
Okay.
It's
All
just like
right.
watching a sorority house on fire. It's
I
fun.
mean, I watched every single minute of Selling Sunset, and I just didn't pivot to OC yet because I was like, oh my God, can I handle another cast full of vapid assholes? But
No.
I can always handle a cast full of vapid assholes when I'm going through paperwork that I want to shred or
Well,
folding laundry or doing something else that I fucking hate doing. And then reality shows can come in and act as a tool for my ADHD.
Well, and they do an amazing job editing. Right as I cannot take one more minute of these assholes fighting, they cut to like a beautiful property, and I'm like, "Ooh, wow!" You know.
Okay.
And then suddenly we're in looking at like marble flown over from Italy. Like, you know, they do a really nice job of taking you right. You know, they're edging you with human
Hilarious.
content and
Okay.
property content. So
Are they different kinds of houses than the ones on in Hollywood Hills? Or is
they
everything
are.
moving towards a rectangle?
No, some of them, because a lot of them are cliffside, you know, so they're like
Oh,
built in
uh-huh.
and like, and they go down to Cabo at some point, you know. Anyways, it's like, it's exactly what you'd expect it to be. And for me, sometimes there's just like comfort in that of
Of
like, I'm not
course.
going to be challenged at all.
Yeah.
It's just going to be a bunch of white people fighting and beautiful
Okay.
buildings.
Well, let's dig into this episode. It's called La Tres Amigas, and I already was pissed because tres is more than one. La is used for one. Las Tres Amigas is how it should be. Now, I am aware 100% that my Spanish is an abomination. I would venture to say, and I'm not even trying to put myself down, I really mean this, Shannon Storms Bador, and from what I understood from Heather, they probably speak better Spanish than I do. I was not raised speaking Spanish. I tried in high school. I still try. It's not good. And that's a deep source and sense of shame for me until I finally unpacked that if I was supposed to speak Spanish, my father would have raised me speaking Spanish and English. I learned recently that he didn't know how to speak Spanish when he was a kid either. Now, my dad's like third generation, at least second generation. So I'm third generation. My grandfather was born in San Diego. I think my grandmother was born in Mexico. But my mom's like, don't get it twisted, girls. Like, he might want you to think that he was fluent in Spanish, but he wasn't always. My mother speaks amazing Spanish. My Jewish mother, she can go to any Spanish speaking country and she's going to be fine. I cannot conjugate a verb unless it's in present tense. I can't speak in future tense. I cannot speak in past tense. It's something I'm working on, and I don't know if I'm ever going to be. But I do know that the title of this episode made me think that whoever's coming up with the titles doesn't know or care enough to honor another language. And if that's the case, it's probably because whoever is coming up or whatever team is coming up with these titles isn't a diverse team. And so nothing feels good about that. And I thought, okay, I wonder if someone was clever enough to not use the correct, what is that word I'm looking, not indicator, but
Article?
Particle, yes.
Article.
Like article. Thank you, particle. Jesus Christ. Someone was not using the right article on purpose because maybe they were referring to Vicki, Tamra, and Shannon, like being snarky, like we're going to botch the Spanish language on purpose because we're talking about these three. I don't know. Ma'am, you're reaching, as the Gen Zs like to say. I could be reaching. But it made me feel grossed out and pissed off, and I'd like to know what my sister thinks about it. Just, that was just my first thing, and the episode hadn't even fucking started yet, and I already wrote a page and a half.
I did not notice the title, but it does sound a little, it sounds like, in Atlanta, Marlowe has opened a store called L'Archive.
Mm-hmm.
And in French, it would be L'Archive, but she's already like trademarked this name. It's like on a sign. It's just lazy at a certain point. It's just like, just ask.
I know.
But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Is there any chance it was like the third Amiga, like indicating Vicki came? I don't know why I'm making excuses for this.
I don't.
It's Orange County.
It's
I'm sure
okay.
it's the worst possible scenario.
I don't think so. And as a brown person in the United States of America, in the year of our whatever deity 2023, I don't have fucking faith any longer.
I think you're right not to. There's nothing on Bravo has indicated that they're like really making an effort to get it right.
I just like it makes me feel like shit, to put it simply and unadulterated. It feels like shit when brown people are disrespected, when brown culture is disrespected, when any culture is disrespected, when and then it made me think like, speak English, when most people, immigrants included, or when we travel to other countries, everyone speaks their native tongue as well as fucking English. And it's just like, God damn it, just get out of this little bubble of comfort that you're in. And anyway, I work on that in therapy all the time. When people do not burn mental calories, I get really offended. And I'm suffering because of it. I'm suffering because someone at Bravo didn't put an S at the end of the word law. And that sucks. I don't want to give Bravo that much power. Therapy intersecting with reality TV.
Yeah, it's that whole thing of like anything that I have like a, volcanic reaction to is not about the, typesetter who wrote that title in. It's about something deep in me, like you're explaining.
Yeah.
That like it's about a whole, history of being mistreated, ignored, undervalued, and just dismissed.
Exactly.
Like nobody's going to take a minute to check the article. Come on, man.
And
we have Google at this point. Like, it's not that hard.
We have Google fucking Translate, which I use constantly when I need to make sure that what I'm writing in Spanish isn't fucking bullshit. Mm-hmm. And even then, there are so many different, countries that speak Spanish. So the idioms are going to be different. Is this Spanish that's spoken in Mexico? Or is it Spanish that's spoken in Spain? Or is this Spanish that's spoken in Peru or Cuba? Blah, blah, blah. It's not. And it reminds me, like what you just said, when you said you have the volcanic reaction. I'm sure you heard this in 12-step rooms. If it's hysterical, it's historical. Meaning if the word hysterical is fucking bullshit. Like I reserve that only for someone who's super funny. But if you're referring to a strong reaction you're having as hysterical, I'm going to say that's pretty problematic. But at the core of that saying means that if you get a strong reaction from something, there's a lot more to be unpacked. And so the strong reactions I had to seeing three women bonding over their love of tequila, like what else is there in that relationship other than talking shit about other people, being middle-aged, being blonde, and making asses of themselves every time they go to Mexico. I mean, on top of wherever they are else together. And then I saw their fakakta shirt that they were selling at their shows when they showed it on Watch What Happens Live.
That was so
and I
cheap
was
and
like,
ugly.
Are you fucking kidding me? Like, and I want to know who the artist was. Because if they did
The
not
artist
use,
was clip art.
oh my
Like, it
God,
doesn't look like anything.
I'm already sweating in this booth. Dude, I got to open my booth door. I'm already sweating from rage.
I mean, another way to say if it's hysterical, it's historical in Bravo language is it's not about the pasta. You
It's
know,
not about the
it's
pasta.
not about the
It's
pasta.
not about
It
the
goes
pasta.
deeper. It always has to do with a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yep.
I just need to say every
Please.
time we record, this kitten comes and sits on these steps and
Oh,
watches this podcast. She just settled in.
oh,
It's adorable. She's literally staring at me.
oh,
So
I love
pressure's
that.
on.
Hi, little angel.
She's
Yes.
adorable.
We need to post a picture of her on our Instagram.
Yeah, I'll take a
Yeah.
picture at some
Okay.
point. Oh, she's so cute. Here we go. So we started this group dinner where we left off,
Yep.
and we have Shannon saying, "I'll be honest with you, John, I'm upset because John leaves after fights." And eventually we get to Emily's confessional where she says, "That's just the tip of the iceberg." And I believe that's true. Shannon decided what she
Absolutely.
was going to say on camera. So again, I'm annoyed and bored and like feel like I'm being played for a fool. Like, you don't scream at production for 3 episodes if all that's going on is you don't like that he leaves after you fight. Like, there's a
Yeah.
lot more. It's incomplete,
It
to
is
say the
incomplete.
least.
It's very incomplete. And the fact that she was trying so hard to sell us on the fact that this is a normal relationship problem. This is a normal relationship problem. These are normal relationship issues. I don't believe that. I believe that that is what Shannon has to tell herself in order to cope with the pain and insecurity that that behavior elicits in her, probably due to some unresolved trauma that he's triggering, or that their relationship is replaying a pattern that is familiar to Shannon. And what was really telling to me was when he tried to set a completely unrealistic and unfair expectation with her. We do not talk about our relationship with your friends. The only people I know that want people to do that are alcoholics. Alcoholics
100%.
Alcoholics, part of that disease and part of that behavior is secret keeping. You keep your secrets. Everything is a secret. Everything is something to be ashamed of. You must maintain your outward persona at all costs. You do not tell family secrets. And it is sick and unrealistic, and everyone should be allowed to talk in a respectful way with appropriate, safe people about the things that are bogging them down and weighing heavy on their minds.
Well, I think the problem is that's what Shannon tried to do. You know, she confided in Heather and Tamra, not expecting that this would become a storyline. And so now she's doing damage control, you know, so that the rest of America doesn't get up in her business. But yeah, I mean, I wish someone had told me ever in my life that like any secret is fucked up. You don't have to tell everybody everything, but if
Right.
you're actively hiding something, that's not okay.
It's not
Whether,
okay.
I mean, and it doesn't have to be anything as big as child abuse or sexual abuse or any of that. Any secret is weird. If anybody asks you, like, don't tell someone this, that's strange. Like,
It
I
is.
don't, I prefer to surround myself with people who don't have that inclination. Again, you don't have to share everything with everyone, but if for some reason somebody found out everything about me and broadcast it to the universe this afternoon, I would, everything lovely and everything embarrassing, I would shrug, because everyone, you know, people close to me know everything that's going on with me. It makes me so uneasy when people demand that secrets are kept. And then when someone like Shannon tries to pretend like she's telling the truth, but she's doing this like veiled, sanitized version of the
Yeah.
truth.
Yeah.
Weird.
This whole episode made me really uncomfortable.
Me too.
It was hard.
Well, it's everybody just passing, everyone's just transferring their problems onto other people and then being all self-righteous about it. Like, hilarious to me that Shannon has anything to say about Jen's relationship. Okay. Like, at least Jen is, I think, you know, we'll get there at the end when Gina says Jen knows everything that's going on in this relationship and she chooses to stay. So at least Jen is honest about her situation, whereas Shannon is trying to, like, you know, decorate a pile of shit and call it a cake. You know, it's like,
God,
that's a
that's a good
pile of shit,
analogy.
dude. We can see
Totally.
no matter how many roses you pipe onto it, John is a pile of shit. Anyways, then we have Heather maybe crying, saying they're so mean. Is that
Oh,
possible? Did that really happen?
she believes her coworkers are not happy for her good news about her house because it's good news that's happening to her. Again, she continues her martyrdom tour 2023. I'm sure all the tickets for that fakakta show are fucking VIP, platinum level. And I cannot imagine what it's like to be Heather Dubrow and truly be convinced of one's innocence in every single relationship that she is in.
It's a sickness.
It
It
is a
is.
sickness. And we are not here. We have made it abundantly clear. We are not going to be diagnosing anyone with anything. I will say that in my experience with narcissists, they do not ever see their side. They literally have felt it's like you're trying to communicate with someone that has a block to seeing their own behavior. They do not see anything in the mirror other than themselves surrounded by sunshine and flowers. Let's talk about Sai for a minute. So Sai, I don't believe is a narcissist at all. Sai is, she makes her digs and her jabs and then redeems herself in one episode because she gets vulnerable. When these housewives on any franchise get vulnerable about their sad and still broken or sore parts, when we see that vulnerability, it makes them relatable and human. And I don't think that Heather Dubrow, her sicknesses don't manifest the same way Rinna's do. I think that Heather might even be worse than Rinna. And I
I
can't
mean, it's
believe I'm
all
saying this. It's all relative, but yes.
she just gives us contrived vulnerability. She
It's
cries about like the stage of life and her kids moving out, even though there's still two at home.
right.
And, moving to Los Angeles to finally get her
Which are
life back.
very palatable things to be vulnerable about and show
If they're
emotion about.
true.
If they're true, right.
I just don't know what's true about her. Everything is, and even to the point, this drove me crazy. These gifts that she brought everyone, which first of all are just garbage. To me, I was just like that. You are just creating another landfill with the
I thought the
shit.
exact same thing, Margaret. I thought the
Siesta,
exact same
fiesta,
thing.
essentials, like go fuck yourself. It was all trash. It looks like the party favors we got in the 80s as kids, like a monogrammed hat and a stupid appropriated
The mini
everything was,
Mexican blanket, the mini serape.
that
Yeah.
seemed weird. And then, but she sets herself up to be in a position where everyone has to thank her. She manipulates it. So
oh my God, Margie.
everyone has to say, thank you, Heather. Even though in that moment they were all so uncomfortable and kind of hated her, she did it. She did what she wanted to do. She got everyone to have to say, thank you, Heather. And it wasn't even for anything good. It was just a pile of trash in a box with Hobby Lobby writing on it. Like it was just so atrocious.
I wonder too if in Gina's little box that little gold box that said essentials, and there was like a little, I think it was like an airplane bottle full of tequila. Did she remember that Gina doesn't partake in alcohol anymore? I just don't know. I wonder if it was taken out or
I'm
edited for her.
sure her assistant put this together. Heather makes it sound like I had them monogrammed. I sat down at a sewing machine and embroidered it. It's like, no, you didn't. You bought this piece of shit off of some gift box website and you had your assistant, get it monogrammed. I don't even know. That's what bothers me a lot about Heather is she pretends as if she's put all of this thought and effort into things. But like you said, she missed a pretty major piece of Gina's story, which is she doesn't drink anymore.
Yeah.
With good reason.
Yeah.
So that was weird.
And I really appreciated and have said this myself when Emily said in her confessional, I don't care about the gift.
She said, I want you to be easier to be friends with.
Right.
And I was like, that is the essence of it all.
Exactly.
Because the gifts just set everyone up to be in this stilted position of like, thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Heather will never let herself be one among many. She is always the self-proclaimed queen. Anyways, so the next morning we have all these FaceTiming things, and then Heather, Gina, and Emily are eating breakfast. And I thought this was interesting that Emily in a very big way, apologized to Heather saying, my behavior at your party, like, I apologize for that. And then Heather in her confessional is like, an apology is fine, but I'm seeing a pattern here. As if that's a bad thing, as if like accepting ownership of like your behavior ever is a bad thing. If you do it 35 times a day, it's better than what Heather is doing, which is just bullshitting people and never looking at her part in anything.
Yeah. And what I love about Emily doing this is Emily is only concerned with keeping her side of the street clean. She is giving apologies freely without expecting anything in return. And I don't even think she said in any of her confessionals, like, it'd be nice to hear the same thing back. Like, she wants to be acknowledged for the pain the other person is causing her. She continues to impress me this season by the fact that she really just wants to be clean herself. She doesn't concern herself with anybody else unless she legitimately has concern for their well being, which I do believe she has for Shannon, and I do believe she has for Jen. But I don't think that I just really like Emily. God damn it, it's so
I do
weird.
too.
But
And yeah,
yes.
she's able to detach from that need to, quid pro quo, tit for
Mm-hmm.
tat apology dynamic that goes on in the Housewives so often.
Yeah.
Yeah, I find her really impressive. And she's weirdly unbothered by the fact that Heather, has decided Emily's an asshole. And Emily is still going to be like, I'll apologize because it probably wasn't great that I like had a cucumber strip
Yeah.
flying out of my mouth,
And
whatever.
and that speaks to the thing that you said before, Margie, like about the keeping secrets and the when you put your behavior again in an appropriate way with appropriate people, when you don't have secrets or you don't hold back apologies that you for things that you truly feel remorse over, no one has any power over you. You have the most power because nothing can fucking break you down. There's nothing someone can say about you, whether true or false, that can harm you because you know you're good with it and you're not trying to do a song and dance to cover anything up.
Yeah, or
So,
even if you're not good with it, you're at least honest about it. So, like, even if it is painful when someone inappropriately shares a personal detail about you publicly, it's not like you're going to deny that that's the truth.
right.
It's the truth. Like, Jen is a great example of that. Like, everything that everyone is saying about Ryan is the truth.
Yeah.
And she's not denying that. She's just experiencing her pain around what she thought was a friendship with Tamra, which has turned out to be an exploitation for Tamra to have a story on this season, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ. Do you have
Now we have
anything else about the morning after?
no, and I also don't care about the cenote. Was there anything I missed there that
The
was
only the only
interesting?
thing that struck me about ATVs and then diving into the water, I noticed that Heather said, "I don't like this. I don't like this." It just reminded me of Lisa Barlow on Salt Lake City last year when Barlow goes skiing. She doesn't know how to ski. Heather goes on an ATV, doesn't know how to ATV. Both of these women talk about how they don't like it. I think Lisa last season said, my idea of recreation is like a cocktail and a beach or whatever. Like, no shit, bitch, whose isn't? But what strikes me is that these things that they don't know how to do expertly, and then they have to do them on camera, forces the both of them to show a side that they work so hard to not show. Their images and perfectionism and contrived control will not allow them to be human on camera. And I find it repellent and abhorrent and fascinating when it happens to women like Lisa and Heather because I see you. You don't think that we can see you, but I fucking see you. Like, all you have to do is be like, holy shit, I don't know what I'm doing. I would be laughing my ass off, and my friends would be laughing at me and with me.
Or
And
if I
that would
hated
be
it, I would
okay.
literally go half a mile an hour and
Right,
just be that
exactly.
idiot.
And just be
But
like, exactly.
you're right. And it is all control because Heather can't control how her tits bounce on that ATV on that terrain. And by the way, oh my God, those GoPro cameras were just, it was tits forward in all of those
I
shots.
didn't
I was
even
like,
notice. That's so
oh my
funny.
God, everyone's giant boobs were just bouncing around because they mounted the GoPro on the handles. So it's just like, rah, tits everywhere. But, and the same with diving into the cenote. Like,
Exactly.
Heather will not do it because, like, what if her bathing suit goes up her butt? Or what if she looks weird when she, like, she just can't, anything that has any, variable as part of the experience, she just will not participate. So
Yeah,
she
and
sucks. She's
what does
not
she
fun to be on
do to
vacation
take
with.
risks, and what does she do to be scared?
Money. It was a risk to, sell her house and hope the deal closed, I guess. I don't know. It all just seems money related and it's very insulated, and it's not, she seemingly has no interest in experiencing anything outside of the mall life she's built for herself,
And her fireside age. I mean, maybe she did take a risk with that fakakta outfit she wore to the pumpkin patch a couple episodes ago.
Oh, yeah, her
Maybe that was her risk,
Rydell
and it
High
didn't fucking
skirt.
go over well. But like, I don't know. Up the
She's like
ante,
not fun to
bro.
be on vacation with.
She's.
Like
I
I
like to
don't
give
love
gifts out on vacation.
and then hate everything else.
Right.
Like, I don't like this. I'm not jumping. It's like, well, okay.
Oh my God.
And then we have Shannon and Tamra getting ready for dinner. And Tamra is just, this is where I think she was the one who bothered me the most in this episode. She's so mean to Jen. This is where she brings up that Jen wears fake labels and saying, you want people to think you have this kind of money. And I don't buy into that. And I did love the producer in her confessional who's like, who makes your dress? And then she's like, Mugler. It's like, you 100% buy into that. It's your whole fucking brand. And it was just so rude to like send Jen up like that. Like, it was just,
It was
she's got
gross.
enough going on. Everything is crumbling in her life as it is. You don't have to tell us that she's wearing fake labels. We get that she's not a complete person. It's fine.
I was shocked, quite honestly, that Tamra even knew who Mugler was. Can I be honest? I just was like, oh, maybe that fakakta fragrance angel that I absolutely cannot fucking stand. And when I smell it, I want to just, I don't know, leave the planet psychically. It's like the worst fucking fragrance. No offense to anyone that wears angel. Maybe you have a different olfactory system than I do. I know you do. We're different people. And maybe it smells good to you. To me, it smells terrible. But, Mugler is, the clothes are quasi avant-garde, I was just surprised that
But
Tamra.
it's that one look that all of the housewives wear. It's that, like the pantyhose and fabric combination dress or jumpsuit. They've all worn it. What's her name? Lisa Hochstein from Miami wore it on Watch What Happens Live, but hers was black and see-through. It's just, I don't think Tamra has an appreciation for like the design aesthetic of a Mugler look. I think she just is like, this is slutty and
yeah, of course it was skin fucking tight. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So.
Oh, and now we have Vicki. Vicki arrives, Tamra pees, Shannon cries, and it's just like dysfunction.
It's just dysfunction, alcoholic shtick. And when Shannon says she's about to cry, and then we go down the memory lane with all the flashbacks, it's just them being wasted. I have incredible memories with my nearest and dearest soulmate friends where they're littered with non-wasted, non-mind-altered experiences. And the fact that these three share such a tight bond through tequila and being obnoxious is troubling and disgusting to watch. And I don't imagine, I don't know. I mean, I know their kids are fairly grown up for that. I just would never want my child to see me behave like that. And I don't want to behave like that. That's all they have.
Yeah, that's the thing is like if there was like a fun, deep friendship there, it would be fun to watch. Again, it's just like you said, it's just a superficial performance of friendship. And the only thing that bonds them is tequila. And I get mad every time they do the three amigos dance, move, because that's not theirs. That's from the movie.
Theirs.
Do they even know? Like, they're just assholes. I'm glad they enjoy themselves because I just can't wait for them to get off the screen. And Vicki being a surprise at dinner was just obnoxious.
Oh, I would have
And
been like, "Oh, great."
mhm.
I did love when Gina called them the Tres Abuelas, which means the
That made
3
me laugh really
grandmothers, in
hard.
case you don't
Yes.
know. That was incredible, and I'm not about ageism, but I am about, like, trolling women that are acting like obnoxious, repellent weirdos. Let's just
Yeah,
say it
they're
that.
just mean. And then Vicky does her standard thing, which I fucking hate, where she's like, boring, that side of the table. It's a flat crowd.
Oh,
Whoop
she's
up. I'm just
so
like,
weird.
it is so a decade ago. Like, can
It's
you do and it doesn't, I guess the problem is it doesn't look fun. Whooping it up seems worse than just sitting still. Like the way Vicky parties sucks,
it
right?
sucks. It
It just
sucks.
seems stressful and overwhelming and too much. And I mean, I'm sure you said you watched Watch What Happens Live, where
Mhm.
Vicky took like 7,000 shots.
And
And
it's
I
just
was so
yeah.
uncomfortable. I was
It's
like, you're
it's
100 years old. Like,
it's her whole brand, and it's gross,
ugh.
and I don't know. I don't think I can drink that much even if I try, you know? I
I
just
mean, I could in the moment and I would enjoy it that night, but I am aware that I would pay for it for a week after at this stage of life. Like, it's just not, I'm not up for a hangover of that degree unless they're like
oh my
snorting
god,
Adderall or
yeah.
something to balance it out. I don't know what they do.
It's a
But
vanity thing too. Like, if I wake up in the morning after a night of drinking so much tequila, I'm gonna be puffy for the next week, and my under eye circles are gonna be so dark, I'm gonna look like fucking I don't know, I'm goth? I don't know. I don't know.
yeah, it's rough. It's rough. Equally rough is we get this flashback to Heather calling Emily Snuffleupagus. And I know she was referring to her hair being sort of straggly, but like it's that whole thing of like you could have chosen any other non-fat hair askew reference, but you chose an elephant. Like that's what you chose. And then trying to say that it's like cute. The whole thing, I was just like, Heather, you are awful.
She
And
is
if she could have said fat, she would have, but she found a way work around with Snuffleupagus.
it enraged me. It enraged me, and, again, it just shows what I know we get into it in detail later in the episode, so I will reserve my thoughts until then. Opinions, my hysterical because they're historical opinions, but Heather is a piece of shit.
Yeah, she's just like, it's what everyone has said about her. Well, the people I care about, Emily, basically has said about her all season is like, she thinks she's better than everyone because she has more money and she's thin. And all she does is reinforce that thesis throughout this whole season. And
Exactly.
Snuffleupagus was kind of like peak. Oh, wow. Okay.
They move back into the suite
No.
and then start truth or dare.
Which it did make me laugh because Vicky's version of Truth or Dare did make me laugh. That she just says something and then she's like, "That's my truth," and I was like, "That's not the game, you asshole."
Tamra knew what she was doing by
Of
suggesting this game, and I
course,
know we always have to do a game. It just fuck, man. That was
just
rough.
really picking on the new kid. Like they
And
are really going in on Jen, and like it's such an easy target. It's like this isn't creative or impressive in any way because it's like, yeah, she's dating a scumbag. Okay, like
that yeah, and,
Vicki,
like,
you dated a man who faked cancer. You dated Steve Lott, like, and Gina coming at her too. It's like you stayed with Matt, who lived in Los Angeles. You think he was faithful to you? Come the actual fuck on,
yeah,
everyone. You don't
yeah,
leave a relationship, no matter how bad it is, until you're ready. So,
yeah.
congratulations, everyone, for figuring it out and being on your high horses. I hope you stay there. I hope you don't have any issues in your current relationships. But it's just mean. It's just fucking mean. I think.
That's a really good point. I just I think back to when I was younger and had more insecurities and felt less empowered because I didn't like myself as much as I do now. I'm sure there were times, maybe just a handful, maybe just a little sprinkle of times when I would give my opinion on something that I knew was going to be incredibly hurtful. And I would manipulate it by saying, but I just care about you. It's like, it was disgusting to watch. It was diabolical. It was evil. And Vicki is a piece of shit who I don't think she has enough years of her life yet to work out all of the issues that she has. And I don't have compassion for her because when you are her age, with her means, she has choices. I guess her behavior works in her life, but that was gross. To use your truth, like truth or dare, to use it to like put a new person down that you don't know and you're just gonna be a parrot for, impy Barbie, like fuck off.
Yeah, it was not fun. It was not fun. Yeah, and Taylor, God bless her,
Oh my God.
trying to defend Ryan, saying like, "Well, I hear them on the phone all the time, so I don't know when he would have time to cheat." I'm like, "Oh my God, can we also not do that, please?" We've all seen it. There have been startling cheating scandals in, my own personal life and on Bravo. We just saw
Right.
Scandival. The reason we were all fucking floored by that is because nobody saw it coming.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where was there time for two people in the same friend circle to be fucking? Well, we found out, like poor Taylor. That's just not how it works, my dear. Like if they want to cheat, they find and make time to cheat. And I think Ryan is hard at work on that, And then Vicki burns down the hotel room.
Oh my God, these women. And then
I
Taylor
know.
fucking fixes it,
I
Like
know.
I all I could think of were the people that had to clean up after these fucking selfish assholes.
Thank God for Taylor, like scraping wax off the table and like sending everyone to bed so that she can,
Putting out the fucking fire. Like I just can't. It's
unbelievable.
so repellent. Okay, have fun with your fucking brand of being a drunk on television.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And then we have the next morning where everyone's hungover, and that's the part where I like literally felt nauseous along with them. And then we head to the pool for water aerobics, and everyone discusses Shannon's breakdown about not wanting to be in a bathing suit. Again, Tamra really got to me in this episode because she said, like, well, she doesn't want to wear a bathing suit. And like, I told her, Shannon, you look great. Don't just like point of order to thin fit people. Do not tell anyone, whatever their weight, whether they're, you know, a waif of a human being or a Snuffleupagus or whatever, just don't. If they don't feel good in their body, it doesn't matter what the fuck you think of them. Like, let them have their experience. It was just
Mm-hmm.
so, I hate it when people do that of like, oh, you look good. It's like, that doesn't help at all. I feel
Right.
like shit. And now you're making me feel crazy for feeling like shit. So thanks.
My
I don't
God.
like Tamra.
I have felt that panic and fear before. And I have been on the phone with my sister or you or anyone and been like, I cannot go to this event because I am too fat and I look like shit. And every single time I have done that, I have showed up. And now I have not felt like that in a very long time. Thank God. Thank God. It's great. And what's funny is that it took a significant amount of weight gain on my part finally get to a point where I was like, you either show up for your life in this body and you wear what you like in this body. And it's not easy to have as someone whose weight yo-yos or has yo-yoed historically, when it starts to creep back up and you've got to get dressed and be with people who have bodies that you perceive make their lives easier or make them more valuable than you in the eye of capitalism and the patriarchy and Western culture, those feelings are fucking real. And if you have a good support system around you, they are going to be able to tell you, you know what? When you get to that thing, I guarantee you, people are going to be so happy to see you, or you're going to be so happy just to be there with the people that you enjoy. You won't even care what you're wearing or what you look like. It has never, ever, ever not come true. That has always been the case. And I feel so badly for Shannon that so much of her joy and her happiness is wrapped up on her body. And I get it. It's so hard to put on a pair of pants and they start to get tight. It's so
But this
hard to
is
look
a
at your body.
bathing suit
This is a
on
bathing suit.
national
Yeah, on
television.
national
Like,
television. Yeah,
wow. And again, standing side by side with all of these women who are snatched within an inch of their life, whether it's surgery or natural, I
exactly.
don't know.
Yep.
But it doesn't matter.
It
It's like,
doesn't.
I don't know. And like, I'm not a Shannon apologist by any means, but I did not care for everyone talking behind her back about it.
No way.
And Emily blaming John for it. It's like, I'm sure he contributes to that neurosis, but like, that's just a headspace that some people occupy. And like, I also got like irritated. And again, this is my own shit. It's not about the pasta. When Shannon was on Watch What Happens Live, and, you know, Andy was like, you know, we all sympathize with you. We've all felt that way. And she goes, thank you, Andy, in her fucking lost 30 pounds on Ozempic body.
Mm-hmm.
Don't dip your head and go, thanks, Andy. Why not just celebrate the fact that you're in a body that you love right now and tell us how you got there? Like, I just can't with this, like, you know, I can't. It made me insane. I do sympathize with her, and I'm so fucking stoked for her that she found a way out. And I wish we didn't have to do the victim liar cycle anymore of like, oh, I'm a victim of my own body, and like now I'm in this fabulous body, but we're not going to talk about it.
I mean, it was evident on her face the minute she walked out onto the Watch What Happens Live set. She was not apologizing for herself or trying to shrink herself or make herself look small. Like, she was like, fuck yeah, I lost the weight that was making me unhappy. And I'm not saying don't get excited about your weight loss if that's what you want. Get excited about it. But the fact that it felt like her whole happiness was the relief that she could feel
It's
being on that
another high.
stage yep. Yeah,
It's
you're
another
right.
source
You're
of
right. You're right.
high. And but again, like I'm not even mad at it. What I'm mad at is like they dive into the high of drinking tequila and getting drunk. So like if you're gonna get high on being thin, like let us enjoy that with you too. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
I guess again, I'm tired of being lied to. Everyone's on Ozempic. Everyone looks great. It's clear they feel great. So like, why aren't we celebrating that? Why are we
Right.
doing this whole poor Shannon thing when it's like
Jesus.
she figured it out? She's fine.
And
I don't
again,
know.
it's an external thing that's going to make
It
her
is.
happy, and external things are not the answer.
Well, and in fairness to Shannon, she did acknowledge like when my life is not going well, it shows up on my body.
100% same.
Oh, and that flashback to that fucking trainer
Yep.
who needs like me to get a fucking fist in his taint. That is I hate when people do that, when like you
Oh,
finally
shit.
go to get help with something that is really destroying you. Shannon dared to take off her shirt and the guy goes, oh, wow. Okay, wow. I
Yeah.
was like, oh my God, it's your job. You're a professional. You're not supposed to be shocked and horrified when you have a client who's coming in to get your services to help them. That flashback made me so upset. No wonder it's not John Jansen. It's that fucking guy.
Yeah.
It's everybody, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
When you go to a trainer to get help and they go, oh, okay, wow. And they have
Yeah.
like cartoon Aruga eyes because they're so
Yeah.
stunned at how fat you are.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
awful.
It was terrible. It was terrible. And then we get to Heather and Emily having their conversation about Heather being full fucking hip. Full
Full
fucking
hip.
hypocrite. Yes, please.
Real quick, I do give Shannon credit for
Oh,
showing up and doing the water aerobics.
oh,
She put on her
absolutely.
bathing suit. She
Yes.
got there.
Yeah,
She did
you're
it.
right.
And
You're right. She
like,
did. And I think she
cheers to
had
her.
fun. She had fun.
I think so too. And
And
that's the thing.
yeah.
Once you're in the water and your body's
Yeah.
submerged, there's less to be
I mean,
self-conscious
she
about.
still was doing her little shtick, like,
Always
and she does, who among us?
fine.
Yeah. As Danny would say,
Um,
that is not mine. That is Danny Pellegrino's. I give credit. Yes.
Okay, sorry. Back to the Snuffleupagus hypocrisy.
I mean, yeah. You want to start or do you want me to?
I mean, I just thought Emily made a great point saying, if I wanted to interpret that as not a joke, if I wanted to interpret that differently, I'd have a good case. And Heather very quickly acquiesced and was like, I see. Yeah. Okay. And I was like, oh my God, you've built a whole storyline about this. And now all of a sudden you're busted by a lawyer and you have nothing to say back. So you just like lay down. But it's, temporary as always. She finds, whatever.
My first trigger in that scene was when Heather is like smoothing back her hair and smoothing her jawline while Emily is trying to engage in a conversation with her about how she's feeling. And she can already sense that Heather is being very dismissive. And she's like, no, I'm trying to make a point. And Heather says, okay, make your point. And it's just like in the most patronizing, condescending, dismissive way you can possibly be. She did not let anything that Emily said come in. Emily's like, so I can't say that you're in a whale trainer outfit. You're not a whale. I can't say you're in a whale trainer outfit, but you can say that I'm Snuffleupagus. And then she comes back and she doubles down, which is a lie. He was my favorite. I love him. He's lovable.
It also still doesn't make him fat and hairy. We
You
know what
know,
he is, dipshit. Like
I,
you're mean.
I also, you know what, Heather Dubrow? And the rest of the world or anybody who's listening, you can put this on my fucking epitaph. I'd rather be Snuffleupagus than be fucking Heather Dubrow. Snuffleupagus is fucking lovable and sweet and earnest and shows up for his friends. Everything that Heather Dubrow isn't. So fuck yeah, Emily. If your hair looks like Snuffleupagus, fuck yeah. May we all look like Snuffleupagus. May we all conjure up Snuffleupagus in the eyes of our loved ones. Heather Dubrow is a fucking asshole bitch, and I don't want anything she has. I don't want a G6. I don't want her 55 million. I don't want her fucked up husband. I will be a sympathetic ear for her two youngest. Fuck her. Fuck her.
Yeah. And then in her confessional, she, says about Emily, she just wants to grab onto something and go with it. You're offended. I'm sorry. And it's like, well, Heather, you have been offended about your house. You've withheld telling them for all these various reasons that you've been offended. So like, yeah, it is like the hypocrisy is like
Yeah.
excruciating.
She was offended at the paparazzi picture. She was
She's
offended at
always
Emily's behavior at the
offended.
party. She's always fucking offended.
She was offended at the Fiesta Siesta gift box. Like she's never not offended by these people.
She's such a hypocritical asshole.
It's boring at this point. As she says,
yes.
I'm done. Me too, Heather. I'm done.
Margie, honestly.
You've exhausted me to the point of throwing my hands up.
Right.
Live and let live. Go live. Because I can't. You're hopeless. How sad. But
I almost didn't think that I needed to even write anything about her behavior in this entire episode because it's like I have nothing new to say. She just continues.
Truly.
She continues to show how damaged and selfish and self-centered she is. She takes it to levels I don't know that I've ever seen before.
I mean, this whole episode to me felt like, how in a musical, like at the end, there's usually some sort of reprise where they like blend 3 songs from the show. And to me, that's what this whole episode was. It was just like the reprise of Shannon and John, Ryan and Jen, and Emily and Heather. And I was just like, same song, different verse. We've heard it all. And now we're getting it all in one big closing number. But like nobody, like you said, nobody's changed. Nothing's different. It's just the same. Shannon will always protect John and pretend everything's fine, even though that relationship clearly seems abusive. Heather will always assume she's right and blame everyone else for her discomfort. And yeah, Ryan cheats. Okay.
Oh my God.
I know.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
And then this last scene was just like,
oh God,
it was excruciating. This is the last breakfast where Tamra admits to gossiping about Jen, and Jen breaks down, and I don't blame her. It's too much. And she's right. It was malicious and it was mean. And then Tamra just comes out of nowhere with shit that is based on nothing as far as I can tell. Like she's saying nobody knows who you are because you never talk. It's like, what? I know more about Jen in half a season than I'll ever know about you, Tamra. I don't know who you are. You're a performance artist, but like I don't know why your daughter never talked to you for like 10 years.
Ooh.
Like, but I'm just saying, we know why Jen is in pain, but Tamra is just like throwing shit and, I don't know. It's very weird. It was sad. It felt very sad.
It did. And I really related to when she just looked at them and she's like, listen, I don't show emotion about this stuff. I don't show emotion when Vicki wants to play truth or dare and digs at my relationship. I don't show emotion because it's easier. It is too painful to do that. My God, is that one of the top 10 most honest things that we've ever seen since Bravo pivoted to Housewives? I honestly think, Margie, this is one of the most honest things we've ever seen in any
That whole
franchise over these years.
that whole exchange totally, I really appreciated it. Jen said, it hurt, it's painful, it sucks. And then she asked Tamra, so it's your job to busy yourself in my pain,
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
Tamra says, you don't show any emotion. And she says, because it's easier. And then Tamra just keeps fucking going at her. You ruined your whole family for a player. And Jen, to her credit, goes, state your facts. What do you know? And then Tamra obviously backs away and like, I'm not saying anything. It's cruel for the sake of being cruel. And Tamra was fully exposed for that in this scene. And that was like sickening to me. It was sickening. And to let Jen walk off shouting after her, like, what did she say? Be fucking smart. You be fucking smart. Like, what happened in your marriage with Simon? What happened with your fucking son? What happened with your daughter who doesn't talk to you? Like, what do you mean? I don't know where you're coming from. If you're Obama and you tell me to be fucking smart, I'm listening. If you're
Right.
Tamra Judge and your gym just
Right.
fucking folded and like I'm not listening to you. I don't
Right.
know what the fuck you're like,
Right.
what authority you're
Oh
getting
my
off on
God.
right now. Fuck you so hard. So mean.
And
Mean.
again, the lying to our faces and thinking that she's going to fool anybody by saying she's only bringing these things up because she cares about her. She does not give a shit. She
She didn't even
cares
say I
about being
care.
asked back for next season.
She just said I'm honest. She didn't even say I care.
God.
She's like, I don't like you with him. And I was right about Vicki's boyfriend. It's like, well, congratulations on being right. Congratulations, like speak now or forever hold your peace. So you've spoken and now shut the fuck up. She's not going to take your advice, just as Vicki didn't. And Vicki, to her credit, said she has to figure it out in her own time. And Vicki knows that from motherfucking experience. And if Tamra took a breath and looked at herself, so does she. We all knew Simon was a fucking piece of shit pig monster from the minute we met him. It took her a few years to end that relationship because it's hard to end a relationship.
It is hard.
And you don't want to believe that someone you fell in love with could be that shitty.
It's really hard.
So she'll get there. Jen will get there. She knows. Everyone's right. She knows.
God.
Gina knew her husband was cheating. Shannon knows John, whatever. Everyone knows. And it's just so much easier to point at someone else. And Jen is just such an easy target because she is actually honest,
Yeah.
It's harder to pin Shannon because she's, bobbing and weaving and running zigzags. But Jen just told the truth and now it's being used against her in like the most
weaponized.
violent way.
Yeah. Oh my God. And then again, if on Watch What Happens Live, like Tamra has no regrets about shit that she does. And it is, I guess, to sell your soul out for Bravo, to sell your friends out for Bravo, for, to be on Housewives, like, okay, I guess, you do you. I guess, like, congratulations.
I mean, it's so weird because like I find them so disgusting, but Andy loves them. They love each other.
He loves them.
They have a community. And, it's like, I think to myself always when there's people in my life who I don't like and I don't understand, like they should be punished for existing in the world like they do. But I just have to remind myself, like they have people who love them and like how they move through this world. And I'm not one of those people anymore. So they go have their community
Yes.
and I need to continue to stay in and build my own.
Yep.
They don't like me. I don't like them.
Yeah.
And so that's life,
Yeah.
and it's hard. It's really hard, especially when you loved someone, trusted someone, cared for someone. As I believe Jen really trusted Tamra as a friend. Oops.
Oops is right, dude. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
Mm-hmm. It's almost like more painful what Tamra's doing to her than what Ryan did.
Totally. Totally.
Ryan at least was like, we're going to take a break because I got to go fuck someone else. Tamra's like luring, her in to tell all her secrets and then just at a group breakfast telling her she ruined her family. Oh my God. That was so mean. That was so mean.
It was disgusting.
Mean.
It was disgusting. And honestly, yes, this episode made me so grateful. It made me so, so, so fucking grateful for therapy, the time I did in 12-step rooms, the fact that my friends and my family have, whether intentionally or unintentionally, like chosen to grow, however painful it is, like over the years, and to evolve as people. And these women, a lot of these women on the cast, not all of them, they are just stuck in arrested development. And it doesn't seem like it's really an issue for any of them.
But I will say, you say that everyone in your life has evolved. And I say, not necessarily so, but you have to the point where you accept them for who they are, where they are, with all their limitations, especially the ones who have not worked on themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just not willing to do that work for these women on the TV, which is why they ignite everything, emotional in me. But, not everyone, like Emily's the perfect example of that. Like not everyone at the table needs to have done therapy or 12-step work or whatever for you to be at peace. Emily says sorry to Heather, knows she's not going to get anything back, and is able to enjoy her croissant and, mimosa.
Yeah. And water aerobics is really fucking hard. I did it. I belonged to the Y before the pandemic hit, and I went to do water aerobics because I had my knee hurt so bad, and it's water, so there's no pressure on your joints. And I was the youngest person in there, and I was looking at all these very senior citizen women, and I was like, oh my God, I have never been so exhausted in my life. It's so hard. It's crazy.
Really hard.
Yeah.
I did aqua jogging once where they put a weight vest on you and you run through water. Water is exhausting. It's really hard.
Yeah, it's really hard.
It looked fun though. That guy Miguel looked like he would have been a great teacher.
I would love to take one of his classes.
His class.
I know.
Yeah.
And then that brunch looked delish after.
Yeah. Ruined by Tamra, but
ruined by Tamra. And her fucking ugly ass hat, her distressed camouflage hat.
Oh my
God.
God.
A trucker, but not a whatever hat. And just
what was that? And her long extension pigtails and I don't know, everything about it was
she's just so fucking hateable. Cheap. She's just so low class.
Cheap is the word. She reads cheap.
She really does.
Even when she's wearing Mugler or whatever, she still reads cheap.
She reads cheap in her Hermès belt buckle with her tight ass camel toe jeans. She definitely reads cheap in her prerequisite OC platforms. I'll tell her this to her fucking 4-foot face too. I don't give a shit.
And she wouldn't give a shit.
And she wouldn't give a shit either. So why would I do it?
Yeah. I mean,
why would I do it?
But I mean, it's it's so clear that she's committed to being kind of cruel for her own entertainment.
Gross. Can you imagine?
No.
Me either.
But she really seemed to get off on picking at Jen and bringing her to a boiling point. It's just mean.
Get a life.
For real.
Get a fucking life, dude. Get a fucking life.
I think she has one now that she's on OC.
On OC.
And in fairness to her, 2 T's in a pod is so fucking popular. It blows my mind.
I did not know that. And
they're it's a big hit.
Is it just because they just talk shit about everybody?
I think so. I haven't listened because I can't either. I just find her it's not even the kind of boring voice that puts you to sleep at night. It's it's boring to so extreme that it's irritating. So I can't listen. And I can listen to a lot of shit, but the two of them together really kill me. They're dumb and their voices are annoying and they're, they have no scruples. There's I can't. But,
yeah. I just don't want to give them the satisfaction of my download,
Yeah.
Anyway, Margee, what was your antidepressant this week?
My antidepressant this week is my niece texted me and she has a fall break in October and she's going to come hang out with me for her fall break. It's just a long weekend, but I love having her here.
You do.
She's just the best. And she loves California and I don't know. I'm thrilled that it's going to work out. So.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy
too.
for you. That's great.
Yeah.
Aww.
I can't wait.
Aww. Yeah. My antidepressant is I went to Portland last week, and last Friday, my niece was in school and she had plans after school. So my sister and my mom and I were able to take just a day trip to Hood River which is this cute little town about an hour away from Portland on a river that's beautiful. And we went thrift shopping and regular shopping and got coffees and went and had a lovely lunch. And it was one of the best days I've had with them in my entire life, where we were just enjoying the three of us just being together. And I swear, like, I'm still riding the high of just the love, and just, I miss them so much. And we've all worked really hard over the last few years, especially, and we're just enjoying the fruits of our labor together and separately. And I just had the greatest time. And then Saturday was Mark's celebration of life, and it was really beautiful. This man just deserved every single sweet memory and thought. I know that he was somewhere hearing everything that we were saying about him, and it was wonderful. Like, his kids were so stoked to be able to hear about other people's experiences of him. And, I told them that he was the first man I ever trusted, and my niece's middle name is his last name. Like, these are big, profound things. And he changed all of our lives. And there were a lot of tears and also just so much fucking love and joy. And if you know what, I was able to really grieve because I was with people too, because sometimes when I'm away from people, it still feels so abstract. But when I'm with the people that are also grieving him, I was able to access that grief more. And it was just so lovely to spend so much time with my sister and my family and my friends up there. And then my sister came back with me, and she helped me purge my room and my kids' room and part of the garage. And it was extremely emotional. I
Yeah.
cried donating 4 boxes of my kid's books from when he was a little kid. And my sister had to remind me that the memories are not the things, the memories are my memories. And it
Mm-hmm.
just felt really profound, and I'm emotionally exhausted now. But yes, so big
But
antidepressants, double dose.
yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah. Very grateful.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
grateful to see you this morning. And I guess I'm grateful for those women for giving me an excuse to see you this morning.
Of course, always.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it looks like when the, previews for coming attractions were shown, it looks like hopefully we're going to start a new chapter of storylines with this next episode. It looks like Heather's going to quit the show, which is great. And,
Yeah.
so at least we just won't be like running these same stories over and over again.
Good.
And
Good.
yeah, who
And
knows? But
it
it looked
still
hopeful.
it still prompts me to look at myself when she triggers me that much. Like, why
Oh,
do I have to give a
yes.
shit? Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
everyone, if you would like to reach us, please do so at atherapeuticdose@gmail.com. Follow us at A Therapeutic Dose on Instagram. Rate, review, and subscribe. The reviews and the ratings really help us. And passing it on to your friends really help us. That's it. That's all I got. Margaret?
That's it. We'll
Yeah.
see you guys next week and take another therapeutic dose together.
Yeah. Yeah. Take good care of yourselves, and thank you for listening. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Ramona and Margee are, obviously, not doctors and do not provide medical advice. Their content is intended to be used for entertainment purposes only. It is not intended to be, should not be interpreted as, or used as a substitute for medical advice or a diagnosis of any health or fitness problem, condition, or disease, nor a recommendation for a specific test, doctor, care provider, procedure, treatment plan, product, or course of action.